I'm now becoming the legal guardian of my brother because my mom's in the hospital.
Okay. If
So
there's
file it in their case. Then.
Yeah, just so it's in there,
Yeah.
and just in case anything happens, there's any questions, it's in there.
Okay. And if you need to look up any other materials about it.
For being boys, my brother and I were pretty mellow. Okay, great. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing in our lives that was radically bad, I guess you could say.
Some things,
Well,
but depending on what you need to have.
You know, just the average American
Some businesses
household.
require like an order of guardianship.
Okay.
So just something to
The
keep
way
in
it
mind.
started was not in a huge way of rebellion or anything, but just kind of a curiosity at a really young age.
That was
11 through 13, it was just marijuana, and then as soon as I turned 14, I started using meth. After that, I kind of started using everything, like from acid to ecstasy to, to weed and alcohol.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I guess the lifestyle of using and stuff just manifested itself on me before I had a chance or even could comprehend what it was going to lead into. All the trouble that I got in with the law was just because of my addiction. She knew something was wrong, but she had no idea to the extent of how I was just destroying myself with the drugs. I remember quite a few times, like cussing her out and just totally disrespectful. I just couldn't see how what she really wanted from me was the best. I just was literally blinded, by the drugs. She loved me and was always there for me, but she wouldn't back down, But there's only so much that a single mom can do. I know that she really took me before the throne of God in prayer and stuff, and I really feel like that was the most important thing. With me, she couldn't control my addictions and stuff and what I was doing. And with her, I obviously can't just control the cancer. It's also opened up things, an opportunity for Jordan and I to build a relationship. We do things now that we didn't do before. We talk about things, and I give him homework assignments and stuff like that, and it's given us an opportunity to become closer as brothers. She just kept saying, "You're like doing way too much for me," and I was like, "You've done way more for me my whole life. I'd have to do this for 15 years, to catch up." So at first I had like a ton of stuff to do. Like literally was just doing errands like all day, every day, trying to get Social Security going and all this stuff, but as soon as like people figured out how they could help, like they just did it. She started having numbing and stuff, and she couldn't hear very well. There's a loud buzzing noise in her head and stuff, and she felt kind of weird, but she felt like she was fine at the same time. She left and, went out and talked to one of the girls that works here, and the girl instantly knew because her face was drooping and stuff, and the girl called me and, told me what was going on, and I left work like right away. and came down to see what was going on. And it was just a long wait, and the doctor came back and told us she has a tumor in her brain.
The first thing that he said was, these are not tumors that we can go in and take out. They're too big and they're too deep. So they're very deep in the center of my brain. So he can't remove them. He said, however, we have to biopsy them because we don't know.
My mom had already known that she had 2 tumors, but the doctor kind of just walked us through what he wanted to do with the biopsy, to take a portion of the tumor and see if it was cancerous or not.
So that's what I'm looking at. I have to shave all of my hair off. Wow. Totally bald. He said as close buzz cut as you can get to your scalp.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
My boys are gonna freak out because I have white hair when it starts growing back. One of the tumors is sitting on some main arteries of my motor skill. Like yesterday, I couldn't do this. I could not move my left side at all, but the doctor said I rock. It's because I can do this today. So I stumbled out of bed. I got to my bedroom door. I fell against the door. I couldn't walk. And I was couldn't talk. I could not talk. So I'm trying to call for Lance one to stay by the bed, right close to my room, so he's staying on the couch. And so I was like, Lance, trying to say Lance, yell, and I couldn't talk, and so drool started coming all out of my mouth. And I thought, okay, something serious. Right then I thought seizure. So my dog ran around, and she went and she woke him up. And then he got me in the car and got me to the hospital. So I had, I don't know how, they said it earlier, but I can't remember how many mini seizures I had, which was causing bleeding on the brain. So there's bleeding on the brain, which formed a blood clot now. So the doctor's thinking he's going to go in, and instead of irritating those tumors and possible rupture again, he's going to biopsy the blood clot. He makes us so intricately, and his plan is so intricate that we can never even see his thoughts. I could have never, ever seen this coming from God. Why wouldn't he do it some other way? Mm-hmm. But God's given me such a greater appreciation of what a magnificent person Jordan is, because he's been coping for 17 years, not being able to understand anything people is saying to him. He's just shown me what a magnificent, wonderful guy he is. So he's just amazing how he works,
That's cool.
His ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. So I'm just hanging in here to see what else he's going to do,
It was actually a Sunday that I was really struggling with being a single mom and with Naomi, and she just came up to me and said, the Lord put you on my heart, and I wanted to invest into your life. And I actually cried when she approached me. That's where our relationship started, and I feel like we've known each other a lot longer, but it really hasn't been that much time. Her role as a mom to Lance and Jordan is such an example for me, and that's the biggest thing, is I feel like she's not that much older than me. I feel like I'm just as old as she is, or she's as young as I am, and that we're really good friends, and it's just a really good relationship because she feeds into me as a mom, and I really need that. I think initially it wasn't as bad just because we thought, well, we'll figure out what's wrong and we'll go home, but the more it progressed and the more serious it got, it was just really unreal and scary and just a lot to chew on. you know, and I feel so helpless in all this situation, and I want to do anything I can to let her know how much she means to me, and, you know, if that's what it takes, then I'll do it. For Jordan, like, I want to be there for him, and I know that he, like, misses out with his mom, you know, because he can't see her all the time, and not that I want to replace that, but I want him to know that, like, that if he needs to call me or if he needs a ride or stuff like that, that he can, and he does, which is awesome. She tells me all the time that what I do for her blesses her, but it blesses me too, and that's the thing. She just constantly feeds into me, and the situation just feeds me and not really the other way around, you know?
Love you, honey. I'm just a body. God planned this before time began. Who can tell the Lord which way to make the wind blow? You know, there's a blessing in this for all of us. There is.
I think that was probably the first time that I actually saw in her eyes, like, the fear of the situation and the reality of it. She was afraid for the boy. She wasn't afraid for her life, and she wasn't afraid of the outcome, that she wasn't angry about it, and she wasn't really even fearful of the results, but that her heart was more just broken, and that was really hard. I'll go and visit her, and I'll say, like, I'm sorry, I have to go get Naomi, and she's like, no, I want you to, like, go spend time with her, go do that, you know, and that's hard, because I know that she wants to do the same.
My testimony, my whole life has been, you know, rejection after rejection. But when I saw Anthem and you guys come around me, those things just fell off, and the Lord said, just receive it. And I have no idea how good it feels to know that you guys are wrapping yourself around my little tiny family. It feels so good.
Of heaven, my treasure thou art. High King of heaven, my treasure thou art.
You know, the Lord told me something this morning that was, I think it's going to be my saving grace. He said, well, Karen, I didn't go to death without the cross on my back. He goes, you hoist that thing up on your back and you go, girl. So that's what I'm going to do.